Hello, and welcome to the 14th episode of the SkillShine25 podcast. My name is Veer, and today I'm speaking with Mr. Prince D.D. Levine, an entrepreneur, investor, former international baseball player, and co-founder of Finitra,
Yep.
the company behind ByWay. His career has spanned technology, venture capital, real estate, and community development, all centered around building better systems for people. Mr. Levine, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on any social media platform at Prince D.D. Levine, Levine is Levine, and let's keep it going. Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, let's start with your early life. You spent much of your early childhood in an orphanage.
Yeah.
How did that, if you're comfortable speaking on this, how did that experience shape the way you think about stability, opportunity, and the person you wanted to become?
I'm internally grateful for almost everything. I say almost everything because I have bad moments and you're like, I don't want to experience that again.
Yeah.
So it's definitely built this superior level for me to just be really, really grateful at all times. Sometimes it's ridiculous, but it allows a positive feedback loop to even look at negative things and why things happen and how to bounce back from it. So it's installed some resilience.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that, to be where you are now, that's a huge jump, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people just give in. Why did this happen to me? You took that as an opportunity to grow. What can I learn from this? What can I gain from this experience? How can I appreciate everything while still staying humble, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to leave those roots behind.
Don't want to forget at all.
Never forget. Those are your people. And that moment, how old were you when you were adopted? What was that system like for you?
I was adopted at 8. The orphanage was cool. I didn't really have no problems. I was pretty happy. I've heard horror stories. I didn't experience too much horror. There's definitely poverty in the orphanage. It's not all a grand scheme of things, but when that's all
yeah,
you're not going to complain. You just kind of get used to it. So it was cool. Getting adopted is kind of like getting married. They sit you in front of a judge. You got to say yes to the questions they ask you. You got to say, I do accept. I was in a nice suit and tie, so it was cool. Kind of felt like Richie Rich, that one movie. Yeah, so it was cool. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Man, well, looking at that now, to be at the level of baseball you were at, that definitely takes a lot of commitment throughout your life, adolescence. So tell us a little bit about that. How did that take over your world? And what did competing at that level teach you about discipline, adapting to new environments, and handling pressure?
Yeah, I really wanted to play football. My parents said, "Look, we gotta get you into something less physical." I was like, "What are we talking about here? What do you mean? I want to hit something. I want to throw a ball." She said, "Well, if you want to throw the ball, basically, I want you to play some baseball." Because I wanted to be quarterback. She said, "I want you to play some baseball." So at first, I kind of sucked at baseball. It's a really hard sport. It's one of those sports that you mature through time. Some of the guys and gals who may be good when they're younger at softball or baseball even might not be good in their 20s and 30s. Right? And some of those children who weren't the best will become phenomenal later. It's one of the most manufactured sports around time. You play a long season, you got long innings. So it teaches you how to fail through patience while also appreciating to find success in the failures. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, yeah. I mean, it's a very, very technical sport. People don't realize you got to put a lot of effort into it.
Yes.
So what position you play in baseball? What were you playing?
I was a utility player. I can catch, play shortstop, I play second base. You put me on the mound, play center field, play left, right. I will not play first or third base. I refuse those two positions. But anything but those,
Yeah.
So.
You're running all over the place. That's great. Yeah, so how long were you in that position of baseball? How long did it?
I started taking baseball serious around 14, 15. Got really good at it around 17, and everything just took off from there. Got a scholarship right out of high school. Right around the time I was juggling entrepreneurship and just life, and baseball just started taking over my world. To the point I couldn't even go to my grocery store job. It was crazy. I was like, I can't even make this, guys. I got to figure this out. So I had to really get really comfortable understanding that, okay, baseball is either here or is it going away.
Yeah.
This is like 16, 17 year old, you're making this decision. You're like, am I going to take this the next through college or not? Am I going to go the distance? So, yeah.
Yeah. So what was the decision that you eventually came to?
It was when someone told me I could go to the league. They said, look, if you take this more serious, we can organize you enough to a good athlete. And I was, at the time, I was still debating, do I focus on tech? I want to be this data scientist. And the coach just told me straight up, he said, look, you come play for me, you can do it all. I was like, okay, well, hard to say no to that.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Coach Wynn. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, now your education covered.
Coach Rich. That was Coach Rich, actually, not Wynn. Coach Rich, yeah.
Okay, at what school?
This is Western Tech.
Western Tech, okay. Well, Western Tech, it looks like you got a lot of education done there as well.
Yeah. Western Tech was cool. It was cool time. That was great time.
Yeah.
That was a great time.
I mean, where did you, while you were juggling baseball and now you're saying that entrepreneurship side of things, let's delve into a little bit of that, right? How did you gain the knowledge about business, the economy, and technology to get into this realm? And why didn't you just let baseball completely take over your life? Why was it such a major part of your life?
Yeah, so I mean, coming into college, I had already made myself a promise that I would start a company called Asdale. So I'm in high school, I'm thinking about business and entrepreneurship. I'm like, okay, like you're not gonna go to college, not have a plan for your startup. You got to make sure you know what you're doing. So that was already a promise to myself. I intended on keeping that promise regardless of sports. So I did that. And entrepreneurship, I never really liked the idea of sitting down at a desk. I don't mind sitting at a desk. I don't like the idea of it. So I was like, how can we change the idea of what it means to sit down at a desk? Not ingrained, like, 9-to-5 mindset.
That corporate mindset. How could you be on top of that rather than be one of those?
Well, or how do we change it?
Yeah.
I don't mind being in the middle of it, beside it, but I don't want to participate in it at all.
Right.
Yeah, I want a different version of that.
Yeah. I mean, knowing that, is there something that really pushed you toward entrepreneurship? Like, when did you realize you wanted to do it, or was it always a passion of yours?
That's a good question. To be real with you, I didn't even know what the word entrepreneurship meant in high school. Didn't even understand that. It was like, oh, you're an entrepreneur. I was like, oh, that's cool. It's really cool. What the hell is this guy saying? So didn't think to Google it, chat it, nothing. I didn't care. I was just like, whatever. I had a paper route. I had a few side hustles. So when you look at the patterns, I was always an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? But I always, I had a normal job at the grocery store. That was, I've had internships. But
Yeah. See, you kind of explored. You took your time. And I really say that as much as I've seen these professional athletes that go into the business world, those people have incredible determination and are able to sit down and put a long-term plan into play, right? Like you can envision the end goal and stay consistent throughout their journey without having to...
Absolutely. No, you get it.
Yeah, like understand it. It takes time.
1,000%.
So Asdale became a recognized retail technology company and worked within major retail ecosystems. What was the biggest lesson you learned from building your first successful startup?
Probably don't build a company out of high school and in college. Wouldn't recommend anyone do that unless you are literally starting from sophomore year of high school and you're going to carry that through 2 years after college. So that's plenty enough time to get your consciousness shifted. Otherwise, if you're doing it senior year, like I did, you're scrambling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
because you got a lot of other stuff to juggle.
You're not used to whatever you're doing. It's like a culture shock. So I don't recommend people start companies in major transition periods at all. That's the biggest lesson is when to start. Another big lesson, I'll give you 3. Another big lesson is capitalization matters, but it's probably not the determining factor to your success or trajectory at all. And what I mean by that is, yes, cash is king, but you could be broke today, and I promise you, if you know what your product is, you know who it serves and where it goes, you can get paid tomorrow. I've seen it. time and time again. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
So alignment, bring me to my point number 3. Alignment is the most crucial thing in what Asda taught me. And I mean, radical alignment. Alignment. If you're not aligned on where you're going, what your product is, how it works, no one else has to understand it. But if you are not, you can't speak it, you can't live it, you dang sure can't make money off it. Your team can't eat.
Yeah. So. Well, going off of that, what differentiates those people who really execute those ideas, get it done, or people who are all talk?
Oh man, the conversation's been execution endures. That's been a trend lately. What's the common denominator? What separates them? What's the difference? Okay. I wouldn't say consistency. I wouldn't even say attitude.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Let's not consistently, not attitude. I would probably say pattern recognition. A lot of people try and believe, which is, I'm a believer as well. Definitely believe in that it'll come to you. But if you can't recognize the predictability to your best, to as best as your knowledge, like look at it as a rocket scientist. Ain't nobody going to space if that rocket doesn't land. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can get up, but if it doesn't come, you're not coming back. You know what I mean? If you need to land somewhere, you're not. So rocket scientists have to be 100% successful. Data scientists have to be 99% successful. So the more you can look at the pattern to the point where you can predict it, it's not control. You know what I mean? You're not manifesting. It's just pattern recognition. That's probably, I've seen the worst entrepreneurs who have really good pattern recognition skills always win.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's unique.
Yeah,
you never hear that. I mean, you oftentimes you hear people that just say, "Hey, I'm gonna put my head down, I'm gonna get it done and get somewhere," and that's what they say. All it takes is effort. But from what you're saying, effort is
a byproduct.
Determination.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna do that, but at the same time, you still have to be strategic with your plan and
1000%.
Still have to have an outcome because effort is nothing without strategy.
Right. I'll give a story on that too. One thing we're working on right now is designing something that we submit to the banks for our real estate. One of our portfolio companies in my family, it's called Realty Guide. And we need to rebuild Realty Guide into a whole new company, essentially. And I have to identify what check writers are finding attractive about our program in our motto. And I have to identify what banks are finding attractive. And I have to identify what customers are finding attractive. And I have to find the common denominator in terms of the patterns around that. And I have to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
It connects, right?
Yeah.
You can't have them working as their own autonomous groups. It's all simultaneous.
Yes.
Now, before we move on from Asdel, do you mind explaining a little bit what Asdel was as a startup and what you did?
Yeah, Asdel was a application that essentially, this is like right during the AI boom, 2018, 2019. And this would be an AI suite at the time that would manage your Amazon, your Walmart, and any other digital direct-to-consumer channel for you. You would hire us, we would plug in our system into your back channel, and our processes and systems and tools would run it for you. We'd have a human account management team in support of our software team.
Okay.
Yeah. And so.
Oh wow.
So we were responsible for hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars in retail sales.
Yeah.
I learned how to launch thousands of products.
Yeah, that's huge, especially, I like to always bring this question in my interviews because it impacted people in so many different ways.
Yes, sir.
But how did the pandemic impact your organization?
I lost some money, but we were pretty stable financially leading up to the pandemic. So I just I had a rotation schedule put in place. Again, I had to learn all this as it was happening. I'm like freaking out. I just learned what furlough was. We furloughed employees on a rotation schedule, meaning that we would keep them on payroll, then we would furlough them, put them on payroll, and we had a schedule. And we already had existing accounts that paid us through the pandemic. So we lost some money, but we didn't go out of business.
Yeah.
And then it also helped us.
Yeah, well, that's what, and I think like the way your business works, it might have actually helped with automation. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of these businesses that had to switch from retail to an automated system. Direct to online, right? Direct to consumers.
Yeah, the pandemic taught me a lot, to be real with you. It did. Because of the switch of minds that happened in like a year, I ended up ultimately making the decision to shut down Asdale in 2021.
Yeah.
I promised I would bring it back. Anyone who's watching this, Asdale's not gone. We have some investors. We have about 40 investors who bet big on Asdale. I promise to bring it back. It is one of my Rolodex tools, but we'll bring it back and we'll only manage it for us because we saw the highest form of greed when the pandemic came in because everyone was afraid. So that taught me like when you have a proprietary tool and it can go a lot of different directions long term. When chaos happens, you got to just take it back.
Yeah.
You got to take it back.
You got to take control, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you eventually chose to move on beyond Asdale, even though it was already, I mean, that pandemic was very difficult, right? Yeah. So how did you know it was time to leave something that was working to pursue a much bigger vision?
When a lot of new people start coming around, that's a great question, by the way, dog. Great question. When a lot of new people start coming around, a lot of things start buzzing around you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people take it as like, oh, I'm trending, I'm cool. That's the time when you should start looking like, what do I got that I need to start thinking about the next step on? What's next? A lot of people want to live in the moment, which I'm all for. We only have
stay
right
humble.
now. Yeah,
stay humble.
Exactly.
Yeah, you haven't. I mean, that period of success you can turn it into a long-term success.
Yeah.
Or you can live off of what you just created and end on a slope, right? You start going down.
So that was a trigger point, and then there was some other secret sauces that Asdale taught me. I was like, okay, we got to go on to the next, man. We got to go on to the next. This is founder privilege right here. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you credited your relationship with Lacey Johnson as an important turning point in your career. How did having the right mentor and access to new opportunities change your trajectory?
Yeah, shout out to Lacey Johnson.
I'm sorry, Lacey Johnson.
Yeah, you said it right. Lacey was pivotal. And I want to make sure I say this too. Abdi Hashari introduced me to Lacey Johnson. Some dude, I was in this Uber one day. He pulled up and he was like, "What's up, my friend?" And I was like, "You a little too confident to be driving Uber." He's like, "I drive Uber to meet friends like you." And I was like, "You serious?" He's like, "Yeah. I maybe take 2 rides a day just to kind of network."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right." He's like, so that's how I met Abdi. Abdi found out what I was doing. He came to my office the next day, revealed who he was. He said, "I have one person for you to meet," and it was Lacey. I meet Lacey. Lacey, he goes, "Okay, well, you want to get into social justice. I can't invest in that. Now you're too young for your own good, so we're gonna mold your mind into economic justice." And Abdi had told me, he's like, "Lacey's gonna want to look on the more economic justice side. That's cool." I said, "Okay, I will build something that aligns with your investment philosophy after Asdale." He said, "Okay." So. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So to get this right, so an Uber driver that you met, this Abdi, Mr. Abdi. So you met him. Mm-hmm. Just randomly, you got an Uber.
You got an Uber,
and he said it was for his own purpose of meeting people, getting connections.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how things just line up like that, man.
Crazy.
It's just it was meant to happen. It was
apparently. I didn't even know Lacey Johnson. And Lacey Johnson, I'm in Florida. He calls me. I'm at my friend Olivia's lake house. We had we're taking a friendship vacation, a break from school. And he's like, "Hey, we're going to put he tells me, I won't disclose the number, but he tells me how much money. I'm on the beach. And then I look at my friend Lily and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm about to be funded." That's cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we met at a connection event, right?
Yeah.
So you definitely know the value of connections in our society, right?
1,000%.
Meaningful connections.
Yeah.
So what differentiates those people that create these meaningful connections and friendships versus the people that are just looking for something?
Man, I feel like you possess a skill set. We could talk on this. That reminds me of this. Everyone's trying to connect with people to figure out what they're doing, which I'm all for. But a lot of people take a surface level approach. This podcast this business that you've created is beyond surface level. You know what I'm saying? You're going down to the infrastructure, ground zero, and you're figuring it out. Yeah. So one of the biggest deciding factors that I look for is interpersonal communication. A lot of people ask, and I don't talk down to people who are surface level. You're busy, you got your own family, you got your own day-to-day. Maybe that's your strategy. Maybe you only want affiliates. I'm all for it. Cool. But when you're looking at changing the trajectory of your life immediately, surface level doesn't cut it. Now you know what I'm saying? Doesn't cut it. You need you need to figure out what's going on in the roots. And I'm not saying that's gonna break or make your relationship with the person. That's not a here nor there. It's just that it helps you understand what you need to understand about them so you can get more aligned.
Yeah, I mean, actually, that probably goes back to the Uber ride. Strategically, he and you both understand that you don't necessarily want something out of that conversation. You're doing that out of the good of your heart. Yeah. And that's where you create a meaningful friendship and conversation, because that interaction just brings out your own human mentality.
Absolutely.
Wow, I mean, so now we move into venture capital, opportunity zone, investing. Mm-hmm. You began looking at capital differently. So what did that experience teach you about using investment to create opportunities beyond simply making money?
I think the biggest lesson from investments is losing money. You're constantly losing money as the founder, because you're taking money to spend money, and then you got to pay out the commissions. So you need more money to continue going. It's sustainable, but it's not always a healthy vehicle. You know what I mean? Unless you hit rapid scale. So I was looking for more of a healthier vehicle that I could formulate so that I could continue on this path with Lacey eventually and take over his company UBXGP. And that's when he taught me opportunity zones and how they can be utilized, which ironically, I know we don't like this president, but Trump's administration, it came originally from the promise zones, which came from the Obama administration. So what all this to say basically is, one, investments are great, but when I look at capital, I look at it as a vehicle, something where you drive from point A to point B, and you can look at the route as the taxi, and what your commission will be along that route. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What your processing fee is.
Yeah.
And then what's fair. A lot of people look at investments as a way to get rich. I look at it as a way, what can I process, and then along the way, what's the upside where my commission will be at. Now, I'm going to go a step further. I don't think that everyone should seek investments. I really don't. I don't think it's smart. I don't think you need to. I think that a strategic savings plan and a banking design plan is a lot more copacetic, a lot more feasible, and if done right, is actually a lot more achievable.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that idea of how investment in capital is not necessarily your end goal, right? Yeah. It's the route. I like the way you're saying that, because it takes time to set that up. Yeah. But in the end, you get yourself much further and you get to a better place. Yeah. Yeah, so your career also included major setbacks, and I think that builds a lot of character.
Yes, sir.
In periods where you had to rebuild what you had already had before, right? And restart. And I think that really humbles you. It builds character, and it teaches you really about how the system works, right? So what did failure teach you about business people and decision making that success never could?
What did failure? Can you say that one more time?
Yeah. What did failure teach you about business people and decision making that success never could?
People are mean, and just natively mean as heck. Like, it's insane. It's taught me. I used to be probably one of the nicest people you've ever met, and I'm not saying I'm that way anymore, because I'm not. But it definitely made me a lot more tough. It turned me into a sharpshooter. So that was one of the craziest realities. It's like, oh, this world is not nice. Here I am, orphan, adoptee, just having a good time. So you definitely learn that from failures. That's one thing. And also, trust is a must. I feel like a lot of people say trust your gut. No, you got to trust that a lot of people are going to fail. You got to trust that a lot of people are going to misunderstand you. You got to trust that a lot of people are going to hear maybe 10 to 20% of what you say. Yeah. And so you're going to have to say it again and again and again. And so trust is a must. You have to trust in yourself a lot. Don't worry about the whole gut thing. A lot of people are trying to place blame. nah, it's really not about anybody else but yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
So
these setbacks and these negative times bring out the worst in people, but it also shows you who your true friends really are, right? The people that really care about you. Do they care about you, or do they care about their own success?
1,000%.
Right?
1,000%.
And I feel like you've definitely learned that from these experiences.
1,000%.
That's very valuable. Now, we're going a little further, but if you lost everything you had built tomorrow and had to completely start from zero, what would you focus on first? What would your mission be? And where would you want to go?
That's a beautiful question. And just for the record, I actually operate on that lens every day now.
Yeah.
That is exactly how I operate. That is my operating OS, the base level. The first thing I'm looking at is, I always look at what went wrong yesterday. Where did I mess up? What can I salvage? What can I potentially, what areas did I overthink? You know what I'm saying? I never think about money ever. I'm not really worried about money. I think when people start to think about money when things are going sideways, that clouds your judgment.
Yeah.
I always think about what's the nearest opportunity, right? What is the nearest opportunity right now? Is it friends, family? Is it consulting? Is it, for me, I'm a big wellness enthusiast. Is it wellness? What is the nearest opportunity? And then I also think about social equity. Who do I know? Where am I? What parts? Because if I'm in Zanzibar, I might have a lot of retirees. I don't know those people, right? If I'm in Charlotte, it's a big capital and banking hub, but it's not necessarily a big, founders capital. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking about social equity, my environment, and then I start to go to work. I put together the puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to find an audience, right? You want to meet the largest group of people as possible. I think that's great because, like you were saying before, you got to have that strategy in place. You can't just say, I want to target this one group, want to build up this one thing. You don't have a fail-safe. You don't have a place to fall back on, right? And I think that's a very strong message. So today, thank God, you don't have to restart.
No.
So today you have Finitra and ByWay. For someone hearing about ByWay for the first time, what problem are you ultimately trying to solve?
Yeah, beautiful question. I come from an unhealthy neighborhood, so this is more of a native solution for me to solve. We want to build healthier neighborhoods at the core. When you think about, I'm big on social equity, I kind of just said that, but I'm big on social equity. When you think about what we're taught, especially when it comes to business, we're taught to conform to these disjointed and fragmented systems for the sake of the financial upside that may or may not come. That's unhealthy. While it may work, while it's been the base of our civilization, it's completely unhealthy. It's actually control, and we stand against it. We're not for it. So we decided, let's first start with what it means to build a healthier neighborhood, and let's design a business-to-human operating system, and let's start with the basics. The basics is making sure you know how your body interacts with yourself, which is wellness. So I'm investing heavily in wellness. I'm investing heavily what it means to connect wellness into your physical operating state. And that's the base of ByWay. And once we understand that side, we put a niche together with that philosophy. So I went and bought a real estate company. So we'll embed our real estate company in the program that I've designed into the business to human operating side. We'll do the same thing with the prior company, Asdale. And so, maybe there might be some days where we want you to relax. Yeah. We don't want you to work.
Well, thank you so much for your vision. That's a great message. I mean, it's very, very difficult to gain a system of living when you are in this repetitive cycle of just paycheck to paycheck, just trying to put food in my mouth, put food in my family's mouth, right? Yeah. And it's almost just taking off a little bit of that payment, a little bit of that pressure, so that you can get a little more savings, build that foundation, and then give yourself a chance to grow. Yeah, that's super super.
Everything should be connected in ways that we don't even understand yet. We're gonna crack that code. Yeah. So. Yeah.
You described one of your core ideas as this business to human relationship. What does that really mean? How do you connect your business, something that is by definition focused on that monetary gain, to what is innately human and what is our society?
Well, we're definitely programmed for monetary gain. We are programmed for monetary gain. We are naturally we come out of the womb ready to survive. So how do one of the philosophies that we have is how do we encourage you to participate? And how do we reward you for participating? Not necessarily to make money, just for working together, right? If you have, let's say, 10 listings that need to get listed, and we encourage you to find people to refer to the system, and you get paid for that. There's affiliate models already that exist. Let's just embed that into the operating system and call that one of our native tools. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then how do we enable shared equity so that it's so normalized when the system wins, everybody wins. You know what I mean? On top of your base salary or whatever it may be, maybe you're just a member. How do we wipe out your membership costs for you just showing up and participating?
Yeah. I mean, that is, again, we looked at how valuable connections are, right? And a lot of times getting to that point of where you can make connections and make those relationships is already blocked by a paywall, blocked by something you can't afford, you don't have the time for it, you don't have the ability to get to that situation, get to that place. So how do you make it so that you can have a larger community, right? It shouldn't necessarily always be about what you're making, what you're earning.
Right. I'm so sick of paywalls. Yeah. I'm so sick of paywalls. What about a participation wall? Like,
it's just great to be in there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're a society that judges what you've already built, what you already have. What about the people that are trying to get there and build that?
Yeah, anti-gatekeeping all the way, man.
You can connect this to like things about, on Instagram or TikTok, you see people in the gym, right?
Absolutely.
You see those people that have already achieved, like you, a great place and a great standing versus people that are just trying to stay consistent, just trying to get in there. Right, and that effort that they're putting, that step that they're doing to get in there shows that they should necessarily be treated differently, right? Versus just staying at home. 100%. Why should that be somebody that you look down upon? Right?
Yeah. So just to back you up on this, Finitra means in French window, right? And ByWay means alternative route. You put the two together, come to this window, we're going to take you to an alternative route, because all this extra gatekeeping. To your point, you're trying. We like that you're trying. Let's help you execute. Let's make this a lot healthier. And I don't know if this is gonna mess up the game with finances because it'll level the playing field. Maybe. I'd like to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be the next 10 years of my life. So
yeah. Well, for students at my age, what do you think matters most right now? What skills should we be developing? What relationships should we be building? Are there credentials we should go after or something else entirely?
Yeah, anyone who is 14, 15, 16, my best advice is to just go experience as much as you possibly can and pick one thing that you stick to. It could be WordPress, it could be Replit, it could be, I don't even care. It could be the science around football. One thing that is not necessarily linear all the time and use case, and stick to it. For you, I think it might be interviewing and connections. I think that is naturally somewhere you're going. It could be something else. I don't know. I'm just assessing from what I can see. Pick one thing and then go experience a lot of things. You know what I mean? In the back of my head, I picked data science. You know what I'm saying? I picked data science as my one thing, and I can consistently reevaluated what it means to leverage data science almost throughout every experience until I was ready to press go.
Yeah. Well, the reason I started with interviews is actually because of that idea you're talking about now.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily have that data science in the back of my head, something that I wanted to go after, what I wanted to do. So my idea was, how can I understand what is out there and what careers can I pursue, right? And the best way for me to do that was to go in person and talk to people, learn about their stories, because I knew strength of myself was I love to talk to people. I enjoyed conversations, and something that you weren't getting from simply looking up the career on Google, right? You can't do that. That doesn't exist. You got to learn about each and every person's individual situation.
1,000%.
And that's where I've created this podcast, right? Because how can I learn about these stories, and now how can I share it with other people? Because they can gain so much out of each individual path.
You are a breath of fresh air, brother. Keep going.
I appreciate
Don't
that.
stop.
I mean, and now, right, going back to what SkillShine truly means is really connecting those professionals to those
100%.
students, right? How can we get the students in touch with the professionals?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be, again, a paywall of an internship. Because
Right.
now that becomes a paywall through both the businesses and the students.
Right.
Just simply sitting down, having a conversation like us, simply meeting face to face, connecting. That's how you learn about the careers. That's how you gain exposure. And that's what's truly meaningful for the students. And that's what we're trying to build, man.
You already building it. I wouldn't even say trying. You are executing right now. You are executing. I love it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had an extremely unconventional path across athletics, technology, investing, and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What would you tell a student who has a lot of interest but still has no idea what they want to do?
Go for the sprint. I'm telling you, I woke up one day, it was 2016. Next thing I know, it's 2026.
Yep.
Just go live. Don't worry about everyone's so focused on leveraging. I've spent millions of dollars in my 20s. I don't regret a single cent of it, you know what I'm saying, at all. So go for the sprint. If you live for the sprint and you're prepared to press go, you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? So go for the sprint.
Yeah,
go
go
take
after
that run.
it.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned, I want to go all the way back to the beginning. You said you started out in high school, you had some of those hustling parts of your life. You mind sharing what those were?
Yeah. I do this still now with one of my divisions that I'm still formulating called Newborn City. I used to do music management in high school, get people shows, got them booked. We did college shows. We used to sneak out the house. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So I
awesome.
had a whole team. I used to do social media management as well in high school. I did it for a couple religious groups. I worked on political campaigns as well. You know, I did all that, and you know, also I sold bikes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Sold bikes. I like to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Me and my friends would do that, and you know, scooters just became cool. I'm all for it, but I've been
Bike person.
been doing all that stuff. Yeah, so yeah, so your average entrepreneur guy. If anyone's looking for a good side hustle in high school, keep it so chill. Go mow some lawns. Go mow some lawns. You get $25 an hour. You get cash today. You know what I'm saying? You get 10 lawns.
Yeah. And that's how you gain some experience, get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, if you could sit down with your 16-year-old self for 5 minutes, what is one thing you would tell him?
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Yeah, get it going. You want it.
Turn it up. Don't this is gonna work. Turn it up. Instead of 2 years, do it today.
Yeah. Don't get scared.
Yeah.
Get after it.
Yeah.
And finally, because you included it in your LinkedIn bio, we have to ask, what makes you enough of a donut enthusiast to put it in the
Yeah. Man, I love donuts. As you can see, I don't eat a lot of donuts, but I have this thing where I like to go to the grocery stores, go buy the sugar donuts.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's like I snack on donuts, not chips.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people were like, "What do you mean donut?" Yeah, I snack on donuts. If you got a donut shop, DM it to me. I'll pull up. Man. Oh my God, if I could eat donuts every day, I would be so happy. But obviously, I can't.
Yeah, I'm a cinnamon guy. You know.
Yeah.
I like the cinnamon donuts. I'm old fashioned. I also like the Dunkin' Donuts old fashioned.
You like you don't like
That's
the
my favorite
chocolate or
donut.
the sprinkles or the jelly
I've never
donuts?
liked chocolate. I'm not a chocolate guy.
Okay, we're gonna bless you and let this one go. I like you still.
Oh wait, what other donuts should I go
I like
after?
the jelly in the middle, man.
Jelly?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I've had the maple one. That one's awesome.
Okay, the maple's cool. I used to play. I used to come home from baseball, throw my bike on the ground, go downstairs. 'Cause I had this huge room, and log into my video game, talk to my clan, be like, I'll be right back in 15 minutes. Go back to the store, get some jelly donuts, a bunch of other stuff, and start gaming. And that's how I spent my evenings. So, yeah.
That's great.
That's
well, thank you so much, Mr. Prince D.D. Levine, everybody. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, brother.
We really appreciate it. Appreciate what you're building with Finitra, ByWay, and we can't wait to see what you do here in the community, in the Charlotte community, and across the United States.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you for having me. Shout out to my boy, and I look forward to rolling some stuff out here in Charlotte.
Appreciate it.